Hey everybody, this is Amazon Jude coming to you from Casper, Wyoming. Today's date is May 5th, May 13th, Mother's Day, 2018. Let's see if I can get some light on this a little better. Well, it's a little better, but not much. Anyway, said I'd keep us all going on how my chemo and stuff is going. I'm down to 2 more chemo treatments. One on the 23rd of this month, and then one more in June. And then I'll begin radiation, and we'll find out if it's spread anywhere else in my body during that time. And hopefully it hasn't. And I can get done with this and do the radiation and get a good clean bill of health. And then come back in 6 months and have it checked again. I heard tell a lot of you gals that sometimes the chemo has to be readjusted. Like the last one that I did before this one just absolutely kicked my butt. My hands were burned, my feet were burned, with rash. Lost my voice again, bloody noses. I had like 9 days straight of diarrhea that really dehydrated me. So they have a standing order up at Rocky Mountain Oncology that if I call in and tell them that I need fluids, that I can just go in and they'll do a quick blood check on me and see what I'm low on, whether it's magnesium or potassium, or because that's what diarrhea will more than likely bleed out of you, is your magnesium levels and potassium levels. And my doctor up there, Dr. Flippin, wonderful woman, made a prescription for potassium and magnesium for me. But you know, again, magnesium also adds to the issues of diarrhea, and that's kind of the big one with this chemo stuff for me. It's been all along has been the diarrhea and trying to keep fluid in my body. Never had trouble with that before, but seems like that was one of them. And then I also went to my regular doctor this time, Jane Fleming, over at Dr. Lawrence's office, and told her that I think my diabetes is out of control. It was 250 the last time we did blood work on me this last week. So she started me on Trulicity, which is a one shot, 7 days, and then stay on the metformin for the rest of it, for the rest of the week. I'm trying to learn how to take my own blood sugar, and I tried it this morning, and I was just so confused that I'm going to have my daughter-in-law help me do it again, because she's the one that sat with me when the nurse was trying to show me how to do it. And like I said, you get chemo brain, so your brain doesn't retain a lot of short-term memory stuff. So when she comes out this week, I'll have her show me how to do it, and we'll do one step at a time and check my blood sugars and that. I'm also going to talk to my doctor about adding to my blood work all the time a Chem 27, just so that we know if my body's absorbing what it should be from my medications, because it seems to have been a problem with this diarrhea this last time, and I had a lot of medications changed, and maybe I should have waited till after I didn't have diarrhea all the time to do that, because my thyroid, I don't have a thyroid anymore, so I take Synthroid in its place, and I usually take 225. Well, my doctor, regular doctor, upped it to 275 because I was in the 9-point range, and I'm better off down in 1.2 to 2.1 range. So that tells you probably a lot about why my body was hurting and I didn't have any energy. My arms felt like they were 100 pounds apiece. My heart was overworking. And anyway, so we're going to go, I'll have to have that checked a little more often too, just so that I don't end up turning hyperthyroid again and go into AFib like I used to when my thyroid was still in and absorbing too much of absorbing too much. So anyway, that's 2 of the big ones this last week. And then now I'm going through with my feet are swollen. My feet continue to swell. My tissue is sucking up all the water, but my veins, I'm dehydrated. So that's something all 3 of my doctors are going to have to work on together to figure out how that plays into things, because I mean, I wore my watch for about 10 minutes and it left an indentation in my wrist, and I'm wearing those what do you call it, diabetic socks now to try to bring down the swelling in my feet. My right foot's coming down pretty good, but my left foot is still really swollen, and it's also got a rash on top of it. I also had to take a Benadryl today because I don't know, the change in my medication, something is causing me to have some sort of reaction. I was reading that Trulicity also has a reaction. I have no appetite. Today was Mother's Day, and my son and his wife and their kids took us out for lunch. And before Dana and I even got there, he had to pull over for me to throw up. I've got nausea with it. The diarrhea is pretty much gone, but it's still just, you know, every time I go to the bathroom, vacate a little bit, and it's also pretty runny. Checked with my body. I'm not real dehydrated, but I'm going to have to probably have that looked at or start drinking some more Gatorade over the next day or so. But anyway, like I said, I was trying to keep you guys all up to date on where I am. I've got 2 more chemo treatments, one coming on the 23rd, and then the next one about 3 weeks later, 21 days later, and then I'll start radiation. But anyway, like I was saying, when the chemo does what it was doing to me, it just absolutely burned my hands, and I peeled. I had 9 straight days of diarrhea. The dosage was too high. She cut it back, and it helped a bunch this time. I didn't burn so bad on my hands. They're red, but they're not burned like they were, and burned on my sides of my butt cheeks, I guess, for lack of better words, and my feet. And then, the tips of my ears. That is the weirdest thing. About the 2nd or 3rd chemo treatment, the tips of my ears burned, is what I would call them, because you can't even lay on it. I mean, I had to cup my hand to sleep at night, whether it was this side or this side, because the tips of them just hurt so badly, like open sores being touched up against salt. So that's another thing you can look out for. But I have managed to keep the mouth sores not happening. I've managed to not get any more yeast infections. Be careful when you're wiping yourself, ladies, especially if you have diarrhea. Make sure you, I just got me some wipes, and after I'm done using the toilet paper, I'll use the wipes to clean up, and that, you know, really helps on keeping things clean down there, so that the yeast, because you will develop yeast infections. I developed one after the first chemo treatment, and I don't usually get yeast infections. I've had most of my gear taken out a long time ago, but anyway, the idea is to keep yourself clean. Also keep yourself showered and full of water, hydrated. Keep yourself hydrated. Those sports drinks, they got a lot of sugar in them, but you can find that pure water, and it's got electrolytes. Pediasure tastes like crap, but at least it's electrolytes for your body. I've been living on yogurt and fermented stuff like sauerkraut and pickles, because those all add good bacteria back to your gut naturally. So make sure you do that. You'll notice in your stool that if it's really brown, then you're getting rid of bile. But if it starts getting kind of yellow and white and all those colors, you're no longer getting rid of your bile. So you need to get some good bacteria back in your guts. Let's see what else I was going to say. Yeah, be careful when they're changing your medications on you, so that if you start showing any signs of being allergic to them, you bring it up right away. Keep Benadryl around. That's good stuff. I mean, I was getting pretty red there this morning from, I'm not sure, it could be the Trulicity or it could be the new blood pressure pill I'm on, but I'll bet it's the Trulicity, because that's kind of one of the side effects of it, it said. But if it brings my sugar down, that'll help a bunch. Probably help with my feet not hurting so bad, because sometimes they just feel like they're on fire, and I have to douse them in cold water. What is it? Oh God. It's for diabetic foot nerve, Lyrica. It works really good, but it's really, really expensive, girls. So your best bet is to try to get your diabetes under control before you have to spend $400 on a prescription of a drug that, may or may not work, and then has some side effects too, which is diarrhea too. It's like everything you take has a side effect of diarrhea. So you're constantly battling the water issue in your body. I don't have any problems with the water in my flesh, but I'm having problems with it staying in my veins and properly distributing between my guts. I should be peeing, not pooping water. So anyway, with that, that's 2 of them. 2 more to go. Yeah, your brain's going to be foggy. You're going to be like short-term memory is crap, which has been that way since the beginning. But don't give up. I feel pretty good today. Each day it gets a little better. They give you enough time to start feeling better before the next big blast of, go in and destroy your cells. But Rocky Mountain Oncology girls have been really good to me. My nurse is really good, Donna, and all the ladies up there. They really, really do try to make things as easy as possible for you. My biggest fear right now is that it spread somewhere else in my body and that I'll be on a maintenance thing for the rest of my life to stay alive. And that's the scary part, is like once you get cancer, it seems like it just keeps coming back over and over again. But you got to fight the fight. I had a really good day today. My son and, like I said, my son and his wife, Candace, she's been my rock of Gibraltar. She's been coming, let's not forget sour stomach, and you won't want to eat nothing, but, just try to find stuff that you can eat that is good for you. Like today, I had this big old prime rib sitting in front of me and mashed potatoes and with all the fixings at lunch with the kids, and I took like 3 bites and I couldn't eat anymore because my stomach was just so sour that I just lost my appetite, and I did throw up on our way to lunch anyway. So I kind of suspected that I better not eat too much, or I was just going to end up tossing it up. And for $20 for prime rib, I wasn't about to waste it. So I made sure that I got a go box before I left and put everything I had in there in that go box, so that when I do get feeling like I can eat again, maybe in the morning for breakfast, I'm going to have my prime rib for Mother's Day and my birthday. The kids got me some flowers and a couple of cards, and Candace got me, that's my son's wife, got me another pair of diabetic socks to help me get the swelling down out of my feet. God bless her. She's been, she is just such a good woman. I know now why he loves her, and I love her too. I couldn't ask for a better friend at this point in my life, and she put those diabetic socks on me like she'd been doing it for 50 years. And of course she was, she worked in nursing homes. So she's been putting those on people for a long time. So she got them suckers on me, and, the right foot, like I said, is coming down and doing real good. But the left foot is taking quite the beating. It still has the rash, and it's real sore and swollen. And I'm trying to avoid maybe losing my toes or something out of this. So I had to talk to my regular doctor and start getting this diabetes under control, because chemo has whacked out everything. It's whacked out my sugar levels. It's whacked out my thyroid issue levels. It's got me missing, magnesium and potassium. It's pretty hard dose. It's hard. Don't let nobody fool you, But if you can go through chemo and survive it, then you've got half the battle won. So anyway, I had a great time with the kids, and we all sat there, and, my son said, this is what it's all about, is family. And, and I realized at that moment that, I had raised a man, and he was a good man, and he loves his wife, and he loves those kids, and I couldn't be more proud. He had a little bit of a downer week. Henry, he was my ex-husband from, 25 years ago. He passed away, but we managed to stay friends because James, my son, and him were really tight. And that was kind of who he saw as his dad, you know, during his informative years when he was younger. And of course, my husband now, you know, is close to James. But Henry and James had a very special bond, and I was never going to interfere with that. And I'm glad they stayed friends all these years, because Henry gave James, you know, his ability to withstand hardships and you know, critical thinking skills, and Dana gave him how to manage money and to realize that you have to work for everything in your life. And you know, we raised a good kid. I always said it took a village to raise him, and I meant it, you know, because a lot of the guys that I dated through the years, they didn't, you know, we didn't stay together, but they sure loved my boy. And they made sure that they stayed in his life in one form or another, as an uncle, or you know, as a grandpa figure, or just a mentor, or whatever. And my son soaked it all up, and he became one hell of a man. I mean, he works hard, and he took on a wife that had a couple kids of her own, and he loves them and adopted them himself. So they are a family, and they're doing wonderful. And you know, when I was younger, I used to tell God, just let me live long enough to see my son happy, and you know, walk down the aisle and know that he's going to be okay if something happens to me. And by God, he did. He let me live long enough to see all that, and I have to thank the Lord for that, because I could have got this cancer at an earlier time, and you know, not got to watch him grow up and become a man. And um, that didn't happen. He let me grow up and let my son grow up and become a man, and I couldn't thank God any more for that. And I couldn't thank God for a better husband right now. You know, I'm very financially responsible. It made sure I had health insurance so that this cancer wasn't a death sentence. That we do have insurance to help pay for that. And a lot of the friends that I have around me right now have been really good to me. You know, Michelle Starkey and Brenda and Donnie Ray and God, Bob and Steve, and just, you know, Paul and his wife Laura, and Daniel and Tess. And you know, I have some pretty good friends, and I think it's because I've always been straight up with them, you know, on anything, whether they were right or wrong. I stood by them, but I also gave them my point of view on things, and it's made their lives better. I know that, and it's made my life better because of these people in my life. And I want to tell you all, I love you. You know, I couldn't have had a better life with all of you guys, without you guys in it. Each one of you are special to me. And if I'm not long for days on this earth, I want you guys to all know just how much you really mean to me. I looked on my Facebook account this morning, and there was 50 of you guys that wished me happy birthday. You have no idea how much that meant to me, you know, from Matt Keating and his wife Jeannie, and, you know, Terry Winggerter, and, you know, just everybody that's out there, Melinda, and you guys have all followed me, and my friend Helen that I met at the home show, or the fairgrounds a couple years ago from Israel. You know, even she wished me happy birthday this morning, and I just want to tell you guys how much you mean to me. And you know, this chemo thing ain't gonna kick my butt. I still want to ride that motorcycle I got put up in the barn again now, an 1800, and I still want to get out there and be able to move around town and not be housebound like I have been for the last 5 months. I spend a lot of time by myself. Of course, I spend a lot of time on politics too. Trying to make America great again has been a tough job with so many in opposition of a wonderful president, and this country's going to make its comeback, and hopefully people will give our president enough time to do the right things, and he's doing them. You know, I can't think of another president that's kept so many promises in such a short time. I mean, he ran circles around the last 5 of them, and there's no doubt about it. But anyway, I wanted to let you girls know that chemo is tough. Be prepared. Stockpile stuff. Because things that you think you're going to want to eat, you're probably not going to want to eat. Stick to your bland foods. You know, in fact, I'm craving a yogurt right now because I'm hungry. And I know if I try to eat that prime rib or anything like that, I'm just going to make myself ill. So I'm going to have to put that off till tomorrow. But keep your chin up. I'm a little fuzzy today. It's been a long day. Any kind of exertion right now is kind of long because I'm retaining so much water that it's pretty much packed its way around in my gut and around my heart, so it's making my heart work harder. But I'll call the doctor tomorrow and see if we can't figure out how to maybe adjust something to where I'm not so dehydrated, but the wrong water going in the wrong places. But anyway, stay strong, girls. I mean, if I can go through this, you can go through it. I'm just glad I had that extra weight on my body to lose. I mean, I lost like 25 pounds. I'm probably going to lose a few more pounds with this new drug, Trulicity. I'm just hoping it's not a $200 a month drug when I run out of the free samples I got from the doctor. Be sure to do that. Ask your doctor for free samples of stuff that they're trying on you, so you don't go wasting money on prescriptions that you don't need. But anyway, happy Mother's Day to all you guys out there that are raising your kids alone. Hats off to you. Nick is, one of my good friends. He works for us, and he was a good mom when he had his daughter around. And Mike that works for us, thank you, Mike, for all your support and sending those chickens home to me at night. So at least I got something to eat in the mornings. But anyway, that's it for now. But God bless you guys and keep up the fight. There's got to be a cure for cancer, and we've got to find it soon.